Good morning, good evening, what time of day you listen in Canada or United States of America here? Well, I'm on YouTube Live today. God, I just set up on my Chromebook I had for a while. Finally got Nerd BPN set up, and guess what? Here, got something new toy. I bought a Kodak hard drive from yes, and this hard drive actually have 1 terabyte memory, and I'm running my this Chromebook off a whole terabyte of memory here. That's 1 terabyte in this drive. I'm running off it all the time now. Pretty damn good, ain't it? Ain't it? It's good enough to run a terabyte of memory in, but I'm happy I'm running this time memory in there because I can do longer video, not worry about running out of room on. This computer has what's called the digital drive. The digital flash has a uh, flash memory in it. It is actually only good to 105, actually 105 kilobytes, basic kilobytes. And I was running on that because I was running on this. It was hard for me to operate like this on a kilobyte type rating of mine. Because the two reasons why it was so hard. You know why? One, I'm using up most of my memory space taken up by videos like this, and I get to the point where I had to delete photos, delete this, delete that because of that. I'm getting sick and tired of for about 1 terabyte hard drive on Temu. Goodbye. There's a whole lot of instructions I will have to read with this drive. I've read all of them yet. I managed to get it working on here in my Chromebook, and it is recording now. So that's pretty good. So I can go on YouTube. I go in, and it gives me a ability on the internet here to broadcast in Canada and the U.S. too. So, I say welcome to my Americans on the other side of the border. You get this be first. I might be the first one for you. I haven't listened. It may be the first one for you, but hope we do listen now that I have finally worked. It took me a while to do that, but it's doing. Well, anyways, I'm talking about many other things. I don't see anybody here yet, but hopefully soon, you know, well, Pastor Mike Scott, the Peacemaker Unity Church, drove through a very vicious thunderstorm last night of a horrible, horrible thunderstorm. So it was like bad. But we didn't get it much here, but they got it on the highway coming back. And that was hard on him. He drove through it like the Lord guided him through that storm, like you, I believe in. Sometimes I've been coming up with something. I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about it for a while. Cause my brother sort of disowned me. The only person I can really look at is Carol now. Richard gone, Linda gone. Only Carol, the only one that I can look at, and this is sort of in a way that I feel, sort of, sent. That'll hard for me to lose that, but okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm making a will. I'm probably gonna mount this on here. Maybe brother might see the video and do this. I'm gonna planning this right now. I'm gonna plan it, but here's what I'm gonna state in the will. Number one, any money that I shall have in the bank that too will be handled executor of will I appointing Carol Jackson or Carol Jackson as executor, and there's going to be three businesses named after my name in Hamilton. First one going to be going over Red Hill Valley, Red Hill Expressway here on Queenston Road. It's going to be called the Peacemaker Journey Memorial Bridge. The one that's going over 403 out Main West That one is going to be called the McMaster, Shirrie Jackson McMaster University, called McMaster CFNU, part of Backstaff McMaster University, 93.3. That name will be named the CFNU Bridge. And the third and last bridge will be called the Shirrie Jackson Memorial Scholarship Bridge. And this is what I've been thinking about, because I've seen this in Hamlet. The homeless people on the street, they want to get off, they want to go to school. But the street allowance stops them from going dead to getting to a university campus. So this is something I came up with, and I thought about it, and I thought about what Ozzy Osbourne did in his lifetime. What he did a lot of great music in his lifetime. Yes, you know him for Crazy Train, know the song Crazy Train, know him for being Black Sabbath. Yes, you know him for a lot of other songs he wrote, and hundreds of beautiful heavy metal music. He was one songwriter and a half. Well, he got a lovely wife, Sharon, Osbourne, But here's what I'm thinking. See, I want to do a scholarship, and I thought, what a more suiting way, because I knew what Ozzy did in his off stage, right? So I knew what he did, and I feel very in my way. I like to do something. I like to carry on his work. He's gone. It's coming in to carry on his work, basically, and doing this, but I don't want us to carry it as I have to, but this is where the will comes in. Another person in my will involved is Ozzy Osbourne's wife. Shirrie Osbourne will work and administer the scholarship. And the scholarship will be designed in two ways. Number one, homeless on a city street somewhere, want to go to camp, want to go to university. And you get this scholarship can be awarded to you, but you don't have to pay for a whole year of university. The only thing you gotta pay for is food. It will cover your food, it will cover your meals, yes, and it will cover everything you see on campus, and even more of that. The second thing on my call on this scholarship is that will cover all studies, all courses accepted within the university environment, and this within McMaster campus. It will be a Shirrie Jackson, and Shirrie Jackson, Ozzy Osbourne, Shirrie Jackson, and Ozzy and Shirrie Jackson, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne Scholarship. We called that, and it will be that. And I feel the best thing is I've been thinking about it, and I think about the scholarship is not there for anybody to grab. If it be available for people who cannot afford to go to university, people on the street with next to no money to afford go to university, want to go, but they can't because of them being on the street. The scholarship help to get people that on the streets that have no place to go, but want to go to continue education, want it bad enough, they'd be able to access it. If somebody has some kid going to high school, a parent, and you're going through last year of high school, and the parent don't have the funds to afford a university, tuition to get into camp or afford the fees for school, they can apply for this, scholarship as well. Called Shirrie Jackson, Shirrie and Sharon Osbourne Ozzy scholarship. They can apply for it, and the kids can go to university, not have to worry about coughing up money all the time. They get money given to them on a regular basis. There will be $100 made available. There'll be about $1,000 $8,000 a month be available on the scholarship. And on top of this, that it will be like $8 million available on scholarship, almost $8 million available for them to use on meals and other items at the campus. But the meal will be included on the student card with the on the R.C. Osborne, Sarah Jackson, R.C. Osborne, Sarah Osborne scholarship. You know, it will be set up in such a way, but only those who cannot afford it. Because I've seen people say, I can't afford to go to Master University. My parents don't have the money to send. Or my parents, we don't have the money to send our kids from high school and the master want to go so bad we can't afford it. And that poor kid, bawling his eyes at home, going, my parents can't afford it. What am I gonna do? And that poor parent, that poor kid, have to turns around, try to work a job, make money, but the job doesn't pay enough. So the person turned around, the kids turned to doing into that person that couldn't afford a shot turned to street drug, selling street drug, enough money, still unable to pay for it because the street drug keep them on the street permanently so they can't get off. And this is where but the R.C. Osborne scholarship is there to fulfill this gap between high school and prevent and also using the gap to prevent people being homeless and having that education to move on in the world and perform, and somebody move on and become the next big heavy metal star out on the stage performing. That's how you can move on to being a big, brilliant scientist who come through a miracle breakthrough for something in the future. Anything. The dreams are a wonderful thing. It could fulfill a person's dream of going to university and being a person that has a job when they leave there, a good paying one at that. So this is what I'm talking about. This is where the scholarship comes in. Instead of them parents and blue on their eyes, they couldn't afford it. The kids ends up on the street in drugs. This way, instead of kid ending up on the street and drugs when adult, here you go. They able to go to university like over campus, McMaster, have a nice, beautiful dorm room or on campus. They will have the funds in there they'll have the funds of the scholarship that will pay their way through university, pay for 4 or 5 years. And after after the third and fifth year of university education, they may turn around and say something, something, I'm really damn glad for this scholarship. I'm happy. I'm very happy that, I got this. I can't believe I actually got this scholarship. And I can't believe I got a job that's gonna give me a high amount of pay, about $800 out. Can't believe I got hired by a university to run a lab after spending my course. And I know what? They feel very gratified about it. They will graduate with honors. They have this college graduate and they go in the workplace and really taking a job or taking a job working at another new science at a campus, maybe, or another new professor. But the fact is that person who didn't end up on the street ends up having a good job and have a wife, have kids, have a family. Well, this is what I feel. This is the best thing for somebody. Not more geared for parents. The kids coming from high school want to go to McMaster, want to go to a university somewhere, but they can't afford the tuition or can't afford the cost they're going to cost. The kids can't afford it, and they taking all their life savings and they bankrupt to do. This is where what I'm thinking about this scholarship comes into play. Number one, that mom and dad could apply for when it is after I'm dead, I'm gone away, and and I passed away by some cause whatsoever, the scholarship will be set up in a way that no, that no, for people who cannot afford to pay and it to go to McMaster. People that can't afford it, they have to, and you end up on the streets as a result of it. It's to more to prevent people ending up on the street, getting on through campus, getting a good paying job in the end, and who knows, they could become a big music promoter, like Sir Osborne promoter is a music promoter, concert promoter, booking that basically. But so honestly, I'm telling you right now, I think that the suitable thing, and I come up with an idea for a name for it, be called the Shirrie Jackson Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne Scholarship, and Sharon Osbourne called. They're called Shirrie, Shirrie Jackson, Ozzy Osbourne, and Sharon Osbourne, you know, Memorial Scholarship. And it's going to be strictly to help those who can't get into university and don't have the money to afford it. And that's with individuals going up, how can they afford it? So this way, that money, on one hand, would help them to succeed, and they get a very big job. Number two, that it helps them in the workplace to get a job. Number two, even when they work at any business on the campus, even work at some of the stores that the student wise, they learn something too, learn good customer service, all these little things. So when they get a job, CEO of a big company, or even getting a job on a campus where they're getting a lot of money for the research they do in their labs, that is, money right there for know what for two things. And that money they come in and they live in a nice house and Ancat, all that, and not even worry about and making good money. And you know what? And there's where that person, I think individual, he didn't end up on the street. He ended up going to school, help or scholarship that created in my name at Memorial, but also designed in such a way a person who cannot afford university or don't have the funds to go to university or anything will have money for that scholarship, and that is there to help mainly there to help those, and also homeless people who on the street and they want to get off the street, they want to go to school, but they can't afford it because welfare won't street allowance only give them $5.50. That's it. They can't afford it. So this way, the scholarship offer, they can go to McMaster and apply for it. When if I'm dead, they can go there, apply for it, get into it, and then they have their education. They get their education. They learn. When they learn something, they all of a sudden find themselves, and they finish the university. They got a job, and they're happy about it. They left that cold groove downtown King Street behind. That whole idea, it's something that I come up with, but problem is, only when I pass away will that scholarship will come into action. So I'm going to leave this up to somebody, my Carol Jackson, and maybe at that point will get the job, and Kevin, I think Daniel Jordan will also get a job in this because he has the military experience. So with the military experience involved, he might able to find exact address over in Birmingham where they actually live. Go there and approach and send a letter there about my idea, and hopefully, if people watching this in Birmingham, England, and know that information, I hope they see this coming out, and it's a way of doing something. it's something I want to leave behind for people too. Yeah, uh, they're not dying, just not a good health at this time. They're not in danger of pass away soon, but the day it happens will happen. Now we kill. Now with only kill there. Dave and Linda keep donating money, Mister. Cal gets me a gift card. Richard gets me 0. So Stricken, Richard gonna get, for the time he sent me a card, he get it. Only $5. Linda, $1. No more, no less for and because he donated money, they said $1 only on this will. And Kel will be executive to appoint it, and I will go to the lawyer and get it all written down, put it into a will, and then from there the will will be read by the lawyer at the time, and at that point I had a lawyer will contact the R.C. Osborne family, Sharon, his ex-wife, about this idea. So I had her come to Hamilton on a plane. She'd come. She'll sit down with the lawyer, with Carol Jackson and that, and take the scholarship idea and put it paperwork in order, have the scholarship become available and amount to the public, to everybody, have amount out to the general public, everybody. And yeah, Matt, okay, that's how I really wanted it. Okay, blog over.